And now for the standing portion of our series, where we are going to use a wall or a door, which when closed, we could lean our body weight against. In addition to that, we're going to use a door jamb, plus a massage ball and a block. Some people do it without the block. I like it with the block. And what we're going to do is let the massage ball massage these tissues here. And so if when you see the variation where we're standing and leaning in, and that doesn't feel right for you, it doesn't feel comfortable, you could sit in any way you prefer, you could stand, you could even lie down and use your hand just massaging the ball across the tissues in between. We have like a necktie bone here, our sternum bone, in between that necktie bone and your armpit, under your collarbone, and as much above the breast or chest tissues as feels comfortable to you. But if you're going to use the version I'm going to show you at the door or at a wall, what would happen is you'd actually, you turn sideways to you now, put the ball at the chest, you'd put the block at the wall, and then you're going to lean the weight of your body into it, as I'm about to demonstrate right now. There's no getting around it. I'll have my back to you as I do it. And so, in that I'm using a door. Making sure the door is shut. I'm going to put the block tall. Though if you end up realizing it's the side to side movement that you prefer, it could go wide. I'm putting it at the height of my chest. And then I've got the ball here against the tissue at the front of the chest. I use my hands to find that they're in a useful position as felt by my body. And then I release my arms and I just lean into the ball. Breathing here. I could be still and steady, or I could go up and down, side to side. Sometimes the ball rolls away. If so, okay, just go get it. No big deal. Bow your head, lift your head. Movements could be small, big, or not at all, but go smoothly. By bending knees, lifting one or both heels. Changing the orientation of neck and head, you'll be able to direct some massage into these spaces. Do this for long, maybe just 2 more breaths here. Switch. Your hands come in, of course, hold the ball, hold the block. As I mentioned, some do it with the ball right at a surface. I just like the extra space that I have between my body and the door. So now I'm going to prepare to do it on the second side. One hand's going to hold the ball, one hand holds the block. I'm going to lean in. As I lean in with my chest, I take a moment to position my feet where it feels firm and useful. And once it feels as though I can release my hands, once it feels as though my body is holding the ball to the block, to the door, or the wall, I drop my arms. And I breathe. And again, I could be in stillness. And I might begin some micro movements, side, side. Up and down, maybe at angles. Knees might bend and straighten, head and neck could move gently. If you realize it feels like too much, please do less or back away. Or remember, you could always sit or lie down or simply stand and use your hand to massage the ball against these tissues at the front of the chest. And we'll take possibly just 2 more breaths. And when that's done, when that's complete for you, stepping away while you hold a ball with one hand and the block with the other. And we are done with the ball for this sequence today. We will use the blocks again in a bit. But for now, what we're going to do is use the door jam. And so I'm going to open the door so that I have access to movement within the door jam. And you'll see that I am going to put my arm at 3 different placements, at 3 different spots. And as you explore this, if any range of motion gives you numbness, tingling, pain, radiating feelings, feelings of cold, feelings of heat, please back away. You might even skip it altogether. And when I say back away, I mean do less until those feelings that I just described abate. Yeah, all right. So the first shape, I'm gonna bring my arm into approximately a 90-degree angle. Whereas it is true that when we lift the arm bone to 50 degrees or 50% of lift, it's natural that the shoulder blade and shoulder lifts with it, but we just don't want it to do it faster than the elbow. So you might have some uprise here, that would be okay. But that uprise comes from the outer armpit. And if lifting to this shape is not available and you need to be further down like so, that's okay. Just trying not to lead with a lift of these upper trapezius meats. And from there, hand at the edge of the door jam. And there's a sense that I'm going to lean my armpit in. That having been said, let me now turn and show it to you from this side. So my arm is at that 90-ish degree angle that I just described. And with a feeling that I want to invite the top of my arm bone to stay plugged back, I'm just going to lean slightly in towards the front of the chest, in through the door jam. This might already feel like a large range of motion for some. It's not a range of motion contest, but if you like, you might turn your toes marginally, your belly marginally, go slowly, your chest marginally away from the arm that's at the door jam. Try not to let the head fall off the body. There's a sense of backing the throat up, even as there's a sense of presenting or offering the heart. If it feels okay, you might turn your nose away from the arm at the door jam, or as much as feels right. This all can be by degree. The free arm could dangle or even wrap around behind you, much like it did when you were holding the strap. Head and neck might want to move. Breathing here. Slowly, bit by bit, begin to back it up, let it go. You might feel you want to roll out that shoulder. All right, the second position, arm will extend straight-ish. And in so doing, you could have flat open palm at the wall, or I prefer to pivot to the pinky finger side. There's a sense of turning the back of the armpit forward and from forward up in the same way that the palm of my hand is pivoting up. And from there, other than that, the arm is now straight, all the steps would be the same. I decide if I'm going to be palm of hand or pinky. And from there, a sense of presenting the chest, and to the degree that feels okay, maybe toes, maybe belly, maybe chest, maybe gaze turns away a little. I'm feeling a little tingling in my thumb here, so I'm going to back up. Might even pause, roll out my wrist a little. Might even bend my elbow a little more, and I'm going to do a little less. And I might feel less stretch, but I want to not feel that tingling. For one more breath. And then release the arm. The third and final shape is going to send the arm out and up at an angle, for which I will need to remove this. I'm going to start with my arm at that 50-ish degree angle, that 90-ish degree angle. And from there, what's going to happen is it's not a straight open or a straight up, though it might end up being at a straight up angle, the sort of arms up cartwheel angle. I'm going to feel what would feel right. I'll start reaching out and up at an angle a little, and from there I'll do the same, beginning to turn in, and in so doing I might discover I want to do more or less in terms of that reach. So from here, starting in the 90-degree angle, I'm reaching my arm out and up, leaning in of the chest, and to the degree that feels right, turning away from that arm, backing up neck and head. Free arm may or may not wind around behind. I didn't offer all of those options on the second one because I was feeling such early onset tingling in the others. So I just did a little less in the last one, but all of these options existed for that as well. Slowly in your time, backing your way out of it. All right, because I actually did the shapes in full on this arm, I'm going to do all of the shapes on my other arm against the face of the door. You're getting to see all of my yoga space today. All right. I'm going to start with my arm at a 90-degree angle. And I'm soft. I don't need to push anything. Nothing needs to be forced. I lean into the chest a little. There's a sort of almost in and up, throat back. And if it feels right, I might turn toes, belly, chest, whatever amount away. It could be marginal. Nose might turn away. It doesn't have to. Arm might wrap around. Back up, do less if you start to have any of the sensations I've been mentioning, which evidence that a nerve is being pinched off, that a nerve isn't being oxygenated. We want your nerves to be oxygenated. Begin to unwind it. Really set. Might roll the shoulder, wrist, neck, head. I'm going to open my arm out to the side. It could be palm towards surface or pinky finger side of hand to surface. It will be interesting to see what this side has in terms of experience today. And then from there, you may or may not begin to turn away to whatever degree. Being easy, backing up if you start to feel tingling. Breath in and out. Notice I'm doing less because today this range of motion is the one. I'm going to even back out a little bit. I feel a little tingling in my thumb. Stay for another breath or two. I'm just going to dare to do less. Dare to do less. And then let's let that one go. Shoulders free, wrists free, neck easy. And now we're going to do the final one where we reach out and up at an angle. Where we start with that 90-ish degree angle of an arm, sometimes called cactus arm. And from there, I'm going to reach out and up an amount, not all the way, because my body might tell me it doesn't want me to go beyond that. I'm going to start to turn my way open to whatever degree. And if from there, my arm wants to reach out and up more, great. And it doesn't today. Some days it really does. Breathing. The free arm could dangle or wrap. Head and neck might move in any soft, sweet ways. Maybe one more breath. And then backing it up. Notice what any movements would feel sweet, would feel helpful. And that concludes our standing series for this shoulder prayer progression.